Welcome back to the channel, Grand Colombia, and welcome to another Coffee Time Live here in Armenia, Colombia. Got a little raw throat today. Not the usual thing, but actual little sore throat. Excuse me. See if we can get through without actually getting sick. I've pretty much recovered from the slip and fall. Everything's good. And let's see, right now it's about 78 degrees. We've been having a ton of rain. We got a high today of 80 and a low of 63. And the exchange rate is 40.94. Slipped about 50 pesos. For a change, when my money hit the bank, it was before it started slipping down again. So it was, what a pleasant surprise. Excuse me. All right, let's see. We got Juka is back. Welcome back, Mr. Juka. Greetings from Finland. Mr. Mike, we got to catch up. We got to get together. Got to find out what's going on with you. Rob, Fort Lauderdale, 305 days. We're almost under the wire, right? Next week will be what, 298? And next week, after coffee time, it'll be late afternoon or early evening. My business partner will actually be here. Getting out. Mr. Turtle, aloha from beautiful sunny downtown Socorro, Santander. How you doing? Stephen, good morning from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. John Sawicki, buenas from Seattle. Mike Meyer, good morning. Excuse me. Scott, good morning from Ontario, Canada. Ron to the Z, hola from fabulous Circassia. Yeah, it's not so fabulous. I mean, where you're living is nice, but you're not living in Circassia. Well, sorta. You know, it's one of those things. It's like you got the town and then you got the rest of the county. Well, he lives out in the county. Will Lone Wolf, good morning from Fort Lauderdale. How are you doing? John Doherty, saludos from Mexico. Libby, how you doing? Libby in Ecuador, good morning. William Hutchinson, the good William Hutchinson. Good morning, folks. How are you? Let's see. What are we doing here? All right. Quick update on the coffee channel business. You heard me mention my business partner is going to be here soon. We're going to get everything underway. The YouTube channel that I had set up for it, it's going to have to change, unfortunately. That'll be sometime in the next few weeks. So there'll be a new YouTube channel. I'll tell you about it when it's actually set up. Sorry, it's going to happen. We have a tentative start date of August 1st. That's probably a little rushed. It'll probably be more like the middle of August, but we'll see. That's what we're shooting for. This week, let's see. This week we had a coffee meeting at a new location. It was very nice. It was right down in the central. I put up a video on it. It's only about 6 minutes long, but let me show you a short clip out of it.
How is
Yeah, even the dog. I don't know if we broke a record or not. Maybe tied. I counted different clips and photos. Looks like we probably tied it, but close enough. Close enough. Big turnout. All right, I'm going to do a few news clips and then we'll get to 10 fun facts. These aren't going to be your typical 10 fun facts about Colombia that everybody knows. There might be a few in there, but they're a little more obscure than that, or they'll be about one of the typical ones that people know, but there'll be something about it that maybe you didn't know. All right, first news item. Speaking of dogs, man arrested for shooting a dog that relieved itself in front of his house. This, I believe, was in Tolima, so Ibagué, somewhere around there. Apparently, what was going on here is that neighborhood dogs were coming up and crapping in front of his house constantly over and over, and he would talk to the owners, and the owners, yeah, well, hey, dogs will do what dogs will do. And so dog came up and started dumping in front of his door, and he came out with a shotgun and fired it off. Now, he didn't hurt the dog, actually. He fired over the dog's head. But the neighborhood was all outraged, and they came and arrested him anyway. He was 65 years old. You can't see in here. 65 years old. And I think they've, it was an endangered charge and a discharge in a populated area kind of thing charge. So they'll probably take his shotgun away. I don't imagine much will come of it, but people don't mess with the dogs here. They're family members. All right, this is as of today, and some of it kind of sucks. Mike, I bet they keep their dogs home now. Well, you would think, but the guy got arrested, so that's just probably going to embolden them. Especially if they take his shotgun away. I think that's why they put the discharging in a public area or something like that. I forget the exact terminology, but you're not supposed to do that unless you've got specific reasons like self-defense or something. And I think he got that charge, so maybe they can snag his shotgun from him. Oh yeah. So this next one. They're banning plastic, all plastic in Colombia, but they're starting with a handful. And like I say, kind of sucks. Let me show you here. Okay, the top one there. Remember, plastics are being taken out of circulation today. That is today. Plastic bags. See the guy carrying the groceries. They're going to go to paper bags. Now, Exito has amazing paper bags with handles that are really durable. So, so that's pretty cool. I'm going to cover the rest here. Bob, contribution, thank you. And Juke, sorry, I forgot you this morning. Bob and Juka for contributions, thank you. It's the lifeblood, it what keeps everything going, and it's appreciated. Okay, so we got the grocery bags. The next one here, to the right top, if you can make it out, those are the plastic bags in the grocery store when you want to put your fruits in there, so you don't have them all spread all over in your shopping cart. I don't know what they're going to do there. I haven't seen it yet. I was in the store Wednesday, and they still had the plastic bags up. So I don't know what they're going to do, but I'm not a big fan of that one. It's any plastic that they don't it's not considered a reusable item. And so the grocery bags should not be part of this, because me and most of the other people in this world use them in the home as trash bag liners or trash can liners. Freebies. Then you got the plastic straws. Where was I? It was at the coffee meeting. I think Matt was saying he got a glass straw. They're doing glass straws. And he said, this is great. This is awesome. Of course, I had to rain on his parade and say, yeah, but what if they don't clean it out real well? But anyway. Now I sound like the name that cannot be mentioned. Well, anyway. Bottom, Q-tips. If you got a Q-tip and it's got a plastic holder, won't work. So they're going to go back to those little spun paper ones that they tried a while back. This middle one that's showing the balloons, they're talking about these plastic, not the pump itself, but it's part of the pump that blows up the balloons, and they get thrown away, and they're banning those. And the last one here is laundromat. So if you get a suit done or whatever at the dry cleaners, and they put the plastic bag over it, you don't get that anymore. You're just gonna, I guess, get your clothes. So I don't know. Not a big fan, but it is what it is. Gil, good morning from scorching Northern California. It's a scorcher today. We're gonna probably get up to 80 degrees. Miriam, good morning from Armenia. Thank you for your great advice. How are you feeling? How did everything go? Feel free to comment here if you up to typing it out. I know she has problems on her phone, but I got a message yesterday, I think about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, about the contact information for the doctor. Libby, they should leave those clear thin bags in the stores to put fruits and meat that leaks. Yeah, that's another thing. They hand out if you go back to the butcher and you say, give me 2 pounds of hamburger, they put it in a plastic bag. What are they going to use? I don't know. I guess we're going to find out. Okay, let's see. What else we got? I'm going to get up to one of my pet peeves here. Hate to rain on this parade. I appreciate that there's a foodie movement in Colombia. I appreciate it. I don't appreciate how most places seem to be looking at it. So the headline here, with the diversity of flavors, I would dispute that. Our Eje Cafetero Gourmet seeks to establish itself as a pioneering gastronomic fair in the region. They also have a website with that name.com. You can take a look. I actually posted the link in Adventure Grand Colombian Facebook page. It's our Facebook page for this. And in that link, it shows you participating restaurants in the region. So you got Pineda, or you got Risaralda and Quindío. I think you've got 6 departments represented there. So what's my problem with this? Well, this photo is my problem. To me, that doesn't look very appetizing. It certainly doesn't look gourmet. You got some fried onions, straw fried. You got some clumps of chicken. You got randomly cut of whatever size and shape avocado, and you got a plop of rice in the middle. And I guess what makes it gourmet is a crispy fried plantain stacked up high. And this is where I've been to a number of places where they raise their prices because you're supposed to be impressed with the food that they're serving. Now, I did a video some time ago about a restaurant called Salamander, and whoever reminded me of that name, thank you. At the coffee meeting, we were talking about it. It was called Salamander, and I went in there with a friend because it was supposed to be this nice place. It was beautiful on the outside, beautiful on the inside. I sit down and I ordered a piece of meat. She ordered a piece of fish. And the thing came and it was like, wow, very picturesque. It was beautiful. But it wasn't very good. It was average. I've had street food better. It was just average. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. It certainly didn't justify the crazy price on it. But they made it look really, really pretty. And I'm seeing that in a number of places. They make something look really pretty, but they forget to either work on something new and adventurous, or what you generally find is they take your typical Colombian food and they'll stack it up higher and they'll arrange it differently and try to make it pretty. And it's gourmet, but it's the same thing. You know, it's the same thing, except you're getting less and paying more. You know, I just don't appreciate the trend. Now, you have some really good restaurant. My favorite here is Bianco. They do everything. It's Northern Italian. It's authentic. They make their own pastas. They make all their own sauces. It's not a red sauce type of place because it's Northern Italy, although they have some. But the risotto is made with actual correct rice, and it's well done. There's William. Maybe if you're still watching, what's the name of that place? It's a Japanese styled restaurant. It's near La Fogata. La Fogata is a great place. This Japanese styled restaurant, Vivente or something like that. Killer. Cerrone is creative. They don't always hit the mark, but they try, and it's pretty good. Other than salt, right, Mike? So there are some very good restaurants here, but there's a trend of making things look like they're different, but they're really the same. The good places use seasoning. Mike says some seasoning would help. The good places know how to use seasoning and they use it. The other places, I mean, seasoning isn't traditional except salt, cumin, cumino. Beyond that, not a whole lot. So if you're going to put yourself out as gourmet, do something other than make it pretty. But even then, when you look at this, it's not so pretty. Now, having said all that and kind of slamming on it, I appreciate there's thought to it, and we're at the beginning of a relatively new movement, and I appreciate that, and I'm sure those things will come. Just right now, it's now this coffee meeting place. It's actually forget the name. It's in the video. Take a look at the last video, but it's something cafe. Oh, Sublime Cafe and Brunch. And they serve a number of dishes, apparently. One looked like Eggs Benedict without the sauce. I don't know that it was Eggs Benedict, but it kind of looked like that. Another one was, it looked kind of like French toast with strawberry and powdered sugar on it. I didn't look real close. Somebody else was having it, a few chairs down. So there's brunch food there, but I guess they also sell pizza and stuff like that. It looked good, but again, it was very pretty. I don't know how it was, if it was just average or what. But, don't be surprised. If you want really good food, go to the tried and true places that are excellent. Let's see, Gil, 5 straight days over 100 degrees. Yikes. This is Charlie. What's up, family? Appreciate the weekly videos. Let's get the likes up. YouTube will eventually notice this greatness. No, they won't. Everybody else knows. You don't know. I'll tell you. They demonetized me some time ago. It makes no difference to me how many people come. But what they did was 2 years ago, they altered the algorithm. I've been stuck at 4,000 subscribers, even though I get several new ones every day. Every time I get new ones, they delete them. Not the new ones, but they'll go to the list and they'll just delete them. And for the last 2 years, it's kept me around the same number, despite the fact that I get a couple every day. But I appreciate the thought. YouTube can suck it. I mean, I've had so many problems with them. They make it so difficult. Every video, even though I'm demonetized, just to rub salt in the wound, every video that I put up has my theme music, which is licensed to me. The video itself gets demonetized and sometimes even blocked in other countries. Like I had one recently that was blocked in Russia. It's my song. It's licensed to me. And what I have to do every week is to write to them and explain to them that it's licensed to me and I've been using it for 8 years. And then they'll remove that copyright strike. Except it's a real pain. So I don't do it because I'm demonetized anyway. They're not going to pay me anyway, so what difference does it make? But now they're even going back on videos from 4 or 5 years ago, and they're putting strikes on them for my own theme song. It's maddening. Anyway, yeah, get off on my tangents. Mike, some seasoning would help. Absolutely. There we go, Zucchini. If you haven't been to Zucchini, it's definitely worth a trip. I think it's in the, certainly in the top 10 in Armenia. Rob, we need more Sabrina. Well, you can't wait till I get through the topics here. All right, I'll give you a quick flash. Okay, give me time to get a little drink of water. All right, what do I got next? Football. Colombia beat Panama last night and qualified for the semifinals. They're going into the semifinals and the finals. So they're up against either Brazil or Uruguay, I think it is. I don't care. I don't like soccer. I'm sorry, football. But they're crazy about it here, as you can imagine. Something was pointed out to me. Is this on my list here? Hold on. Yeah. Something was pointed out to me yesterday. Soccer violence at games is probably as typical here as it is, say, in England. So if you have the team here in Condillo, and we've got a big stadium in the south part of town, it looks like a football stadium. It's got all the big outdoor lights. It's huge. So let's say the Condillo team or Armenia, I don't even know. I know they have a team. I don't know what it is. But let's say Cali, they have a team that's called the Demons or something. Their logo is a little red devil head. So whatever that is. Let's say they come in and play. It wouldn't be unusual to have a fight break out. As a matter of fact, I was told that each team has a gang, a hooligan gang, that if there's anything going on, it's like they're they're in on it. They're there. They're going to join in. I don't know. But when you have the national football team and everybody's at the bars and then whatever national team or whatever local team that they have no longer matters, and they're all cheering together for the national team. So they can all come together for that. Okay, last bit of news. Hope you had a good 4th of July. Colombia's 4th of July is actually on the 20th. It's their Independence Day. There'll be parades and all kinds of fireworks going crazy. So if you're here, you might want to catch it. I'm kind of paraded out, to be honest with you. I don't know if I'll bother. I've been to so many of them because they have parades for everything. But it's definitely worth going to see. I just don't know if it's worth going to see for the 50th time. I had 2 messages this past week, but it's something that's come up a lot in the past. Occasionally, I go off on a tangent, and I always go off on a tangent, but occasionally I go off on a tangent about something in my life. Something will trigger it, it'll relate, and so then I'll tell a little story. It's off the cuff, it's nothing planned, and I just tell a little story about something that occurred in my life that it reminded me of. And I continue to get people requesting that I do more of those. They find them interesting. This channel is about Colombia. So this is what I'm going to say. I had to write these down. Okay. First of all, I do it now and then, but it's organic. It's off the cuff. It's not planned, and I don't expect I will. Second, if you want to know more about me, there was a recent podcast. I talked about it last week. I put the link up in the description, so you could go listen to that. Third, I got a personal channel. I'm not very active on it. It's only when something strikes me, but I've told some stories there. A couple are personal. Was one growing old in a strange land, and that was also on a podcast that I have. And another one was Half-Assed McCrae. Those are personal stories I have told. I don't think they belong here. It's just that if it relates to something and it pops in my head, I just go with it. And the last thing is I have that personal podcast. It's now on Spotify. It was on Anchor, but Spotify bought out Anchor, and so you can find it there. So no, I'm not gonna plan those in. If they happen, they happen. But I've told personal stories about myself for the last 8 years on this channel anyway. I don't tell everything, would you? But I've told more than I've ever intended. I never intended to tell any. Okay, so there's that. Are we streaming? All right. Fun facts. 10 fun facts. Here we go. Number 1. Most of you probably know that Colombia is the #1 country for emeralds. What most people don't know is that emeralds coming out of Colombia are unique. For example, the number 2 is Zambia. So Zambia is number 2 in the world for exporting emeralds, but Zambia's emeralds are a slightly different color. They have more of a bluish green, and that's what you find. Colombia's are unique. They're the #1. They're also unique, and of course they're the most popular. Okay, number 2, the pink river dolphin. Let's see, you've probably seen this before. Got a picture. River dolphin, the Amazon. I'm sure you've seen it before. What you may not know about this animal is that, one, it's only in Colombia. It's only in the Colombian part of the Amazon. Number two, no other dolphin has a neck that will move and rotate. Its neck joint, not its whole body, but its neck joint. Head can go up, head can go down. The head can turn like that, can twist and turn. It will turn and look at you while its body's still going that way. It's I tried to get some pictures. I saw a couple pictures, but they weren't in a format. I would have had to go through a whole bunch of stuff, so I didn't. But they're kind of freaky looking, because they're dolphin. I've never seen one twist like that. It reminded me of like those horror movies where the head turns around, like Chucky. But so there's that. And the other thing is, of dolphins and humans, they have the largest brain matter. As a matter of fact, 40% greater size brain than humans, but also larger than ocean-going dolphins. I thought that was kind of interesting. Okay, number 3, Colombia. You know that Colombia has national parks. National parks, refuges, but they're all national parks. There's 60 of them in Colombia. What I found interesting about it was that the USA has 63. The USA is massively larger, and we think that there's like a national park on every street corner. Well, there's 460 some odd places that are like reserves or preserves, but there's only 63 designated national parks in the United States. That kind of surprised me. Colombia having 60. All right, number 4. We all know coffee's a thing here. I didn't know, I don't know if you knew, but children are given coffee to drink. So it could be 5 years old. Here's a cup of coffee. It always will have milk in it, and often will have a little panela, a little sweetener in it. But it's a children's drink. Didn't know that. Okay, number 5. We've talked about for diversity of animals. Colombia is number 1 in the world for a number of species of bird. It's number 2 in the world of species in general. Okay, talked about that. You probably know more or less about that. But what I didn't know is that 9,100 species in Colombia are found nowhere else in the world except in Colombia. 9,100 species. That's, I don't know. I just thought that was crazy. Number 6. The most rain in the world is a place called Loro or Joro. It's in Chaco. Now, I found on the internet argument about that. Some say it's number 1. Some say it's number 2, with a place in India being number 1. But the amount of difference was so minute, I don't know. Call them both. But here's where it's located in Colombia. You can see the little strip up going up to Panama there. This is in the region that you should never go. Don't go to Chaco. There's a lot of criminal activity there. The Mexican cartel operates the strongest there. It's just not a place to go. It's way too hot, way too much rain. But how much rain is that? Well, the number that impressed me the most was in feet. 43 feet a year. 43 feet worth of rain a year in that location. All right, so let's see. Next one, number 7. So, is it possible that Colombia has the driest region in the world? No, but it comes damn close. It comes very close. Colombia has deserts. This is in Guajira, La Guajira. And it's located right up there. And what I found interesting about this was that we know that Spain came in and conquered Venezuela and Colombia and Ecuador and Peru, and Spain kind of owned everything, right? And then you had these different movements. Simon Bolivar mostly fought against and kicked out the Spanish. There was one group that never fell to the Spanish. The Spanish could not conquer them. And that was here in La Guajira. The indigenous people there called the Wayu, who they guesstimate has been living there for about 10,000 years. Spanish tried to fight them. What would happen would be they would keep falling back into that desert, and the Spanish couldn't survive in it, and they would have to leave. And then they would come back to their villages and stuff. And when the Spanish would try again, they would fight them, but they would fight them falling back to that desert because they know how to survive there. I'm a fanboy of La Guajira. It's Afro Guajira, the YouTube video girl who's from Colombia, and she's from there. And she's quite funny. But she's done a ton of videos there showing people how they live there. And they live on practically nothing. And some of the currency of exchange is bottles of water. It's pretty crazy. So if you haven't seen it, check that channel out. All right. So number 8. A small thing. Did you know that Colombia is twice the size of Spain? A lot of people think of Colombia as being small, and I think it's because of the way the map is laid out. But when you look at the square footage or square miles, not square foot, you're not going to rent it, but the square miles of Colombia and start comparing it to other countries, you find out that it's pretty big. You know, you got several hundred countries in the world, and Colombia is number 25 in size. And like I say, it's twice the size of France, twice the size of Spain. So it's pretty big. Number 9. All right, I think everybody knows this one. But Colombia has more public holidays than any other country in the world. It's got 18 official public holidays. And on some years, it gets one more. I forget what that's about. I don't remember. But I know some years it actually has another one. And number 10, hold on here. Number 10 is, did you know, well, I think we all know that Colombia has Pacific Ocean and Atlantic Ocean separated by Panama. So Colombia gets both oceans. But did you know that Colombia has more coastline than the entire west coast of the United States? All through California, Oregon, Seattle, there's more coastline in Colombia. I didn't know that. I thought it was pretty amazing. So those are my 10 fun facts. A lot of this I didn't know. I've looked at different things, and sometimes you have to go deeper. And so I was thumbing through some notes, and some of this stuff I would maybe scribble down. I would go back and take a look and say, oh, okay, I should have gone deeper in that. So So it's kind of a weird list, but I don't know. I figured I would do that. Besides, my throat has been kind of bothering me, and I thought I didn't want to get into something that was going to take 2 hours to cover. So there we go. Any comments? I see we're still connected, but the chat has dropped off. Do we have any comments, any questions? I know I get questions occasionally, and I tell people, just get on the Coffee Time Live and put it up in chat. If you have that question, somebody else probably will. And for me to type it out individually for 5 people, I mean, just ask me the question here and I'll tell you about it, or somebody can chime in from the chat. It's not that I don't mind responding to people, and I do respond to everything that I see. But a lot of the stuff is just very repetitious, and just ask it here. You know, we don't mind being repetitious here. I do it all the time. All right. So another thing is, I've had a couple people say that they try to enter into chat, but it doesn't let them. I spent a lot of time yesterday and this morning checking that out again. There are absolutely no restrictions that I have set up. We got attacked once, and people were spamming comments, and I had to put restrictions on for a few weeks. And that restriction, all it did was you couldn't post another comment for like 15 seconds. So you couldn't do one after another. But I removed that a long time ago. So there are no restrictions. So if you're having a problem with chat, it's not on my end. And I wanted to be sure. I've looked and looked and looked, but it's not on my end. So coffee meet this Wednesday, 11 a.m., Sublime in Armenia. See you there. You're such a promoter. You're such a showman, but doing a good job. Rob, I wonder if Colombia is also the #1 country for plastic surgery. Number 4, actually. Colombia is number 4 in the world for plastic, cosmetic, boob job, that kind of stuff. Funny you should ask. Meditation, world knowledge. Afro Ahira girl. Huh? I don't understand. What are we saying here? I don't get it. But yeah, that's her channel. She's supposedly, oh, here we go. Rob, not the whole country, only Medellin. That's actually a good point. It isn't only Medellin, but it almost is. I mean, if you were to work out a percent, it's probably 95% of it goes on in Medellin. That's where everybody goes to get it done. And even people here in Colombia, I knew a girl 4 or 5 years ago, and she was a college student. And she was kind of on the flat-chested side, which is not a normal thing here in Colombia. And she was self-conscious about it. And it came out because she was talking about Medellin and have I been there? Yeah, but it's been quite a while. Are you going to go do a video there? Yeah, probably, but it's, I got to save up for it. It was that kind of conversation. And she was talking about how she was going to go. And you go, what are you going for? To visit somebody or whatever? And she just volunteered. She's going for basically for boob surgery. And I go, I'm not a big fan of that. And it's like, why? I mean, every guy I've met publicly will say, oh, big boobs, But most people on a one-to-one, most guys I know on a one-to-one conversation don't care all that much. It's something like we say and we make jokes about it. And it'll talk about it in movies and on TV, but when it comes down to it, I mean, there's some guys, but most guys, it's not it's not all that important. And so when girls, talk about that, you might want to realize that it's not a big deal, but a bad boob job or one that looks fake, you're actually not doing yourself any favors. Let's see. I was only asking the plastic surgery question for Mike's behalf. Mike, thanks, bud. Well, Mike probably already knew that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. I think he's got a home study program going. I don't know. Just kidding. Okay. So where was I think I'm losing my voice. My girlfriend was sick last week and had to get a shot. The pharmacist asked her first if she had butt implants, so it must be pretty common. That's I'm going to give you this shot, but do you have butt implants? Now, is that because the shot somehow messed with the butt implants, and are butt implants different than boob implants? I don't get that. It seems bizarre to me, but home study. Yeah. Okay. So last call for questions before we Sabrina our way out of here. They didn't want to put the medicine inside. Oh, it was a butt shot. Gotcha. Okay. Didn't occur to me. Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, I guess that could be an issue. I don't think you want the needle piercing the butt implant. Yeah. Yeah, it's all, yeah, I don't get any of it. And they'll often say, I'm doing it for myself. Liar. Liar. You're not doing it for yourself. She does not have any of them, by the way. Well, okay, but not necessary. All right, last call for any kind of questions. And I'm going to go make some hot tea and honey and hope I'm not coming down with something. I don't think so, but you never know. I don't get, some of you are going to laugh, I don't get sick very often. All right, I hear you laughing, but hold on. Collie weather has been very reasonable lately. Yeah, true, because of La Nina. So when I say I don't get sick very often, I don't get sick from like cold or flu or stuff that goes around like that. The stuff I get sick on are the medicine I have to take, the side effects that it has, and a single issue that I struggle with, all from 10 years ago when I had cancer. It's all of that. I don't count that. There's nothing I can do about that. It's going to happen every month. I'm going to get 2, 3, 4 days of a fever. It's just how it is. I can't do anything about it. What I'm talking about is everybody around me will come down with the flu and I don't. So it's those kinds of things. I don't get sick very often. Can't remember the last time I had the flu. But when you get a raw red sore throat and you feel kind of weird, you never know. So we'll see. I got to get better because this is going to be a busy week. And next week, when she shows up, it's going to be busier than hell. I'm going to hit, 4 or 5 farms. It's going to be busy. All right. Did the last call. Is that it? Yep. So we're going to dance our way out. I will see you next week. There will be a coffee time next week. Like me, you have a good immune system, Lauren. I do, actually. I just wish I could get rid of the. It gets old, you know. It's like it's not like I can't time it. I can't say it's like, well, in 4 weeks I'm gonna. It's not like that, but it works out to about every month. It could be month and a half, could be half a month. But it's kind of like every month. I end up with a fever, run down, just I'm so sick of it. I've been dealing with it for years. It's not fun. All right, I'm back to whining. Sorry about that. So let's say goodbye with Sabrina, and I will see you next week. Thank you, of course, for the contributions. And here we go.
Afro el bravo le dice, lo dejaron tirado, como efecto de los golpes, camina cachondeado. Antes rotaba de guapo, pero ahora mismo está recogiendo galletazos por todita la ciudad y camina de lado. Como que te cachondea, vagabundo, como que te cachondea, cachondeame, como que te cachondea, vagabundo, como que te cachondea, como que me cachondeame, como que te va de lado. Los compadrinos, cuidado que tú eres un bacalao, salao, como que te cachondea, vagabundo, como que te cachondea, vagabundo, como que te cachondea, vagabundo.